Welcome to this live. Guys, I don't know, if you, and I'm speaking specifically to our Black brothers and sisters. I don't know if we ever, any of you, but I know I do, ever sit down and look at what is happening in the Black community, what is happening with the Black race. When we look around, and when I look around and I see we have different races of people. We have the Black race. Some people would say we are not Black. So, I don't know, but that is what we were schooled in, that we are the Black people, Black race. But anyone in the comment can, say what they would say. Some people say we are not Black, so I don't want to come to that, and I don't want to come to know what you call it, confusion. So I'll stick with what I know. So as I was saying, that we have different races of people. We have the Black people, white people, they call Caucasians, Chinese, Japanese, Indians, Arabs, and all the different mixtures in between. And when I examine each races of people, I know that in every race, for example, I know that in every race, for example, in the white community, the white culture, the white race, you're gonna have people that fight against each other. Yes, in the Black race, you're gonna find people fight against their own race of people. The Chinese, they're gonna fight against each other in their own race. Indians and so forth. We are all human beings, and we are very competitive within our own race, and also we are very competitive outside with other races. So just as the animals compete who to be king of the jungle, and so forth, I know that. But what I always realize, that in all of the races of people, I always look at my race of people, the Black race. And I know that enough of us always wonder, why are we at the bottom of the scale as Black people? Sometimes I wonder if it is because of slavery. But not all black people were went into slavery. So I couldn't say that it is, even though slavery has some impact on the mentality of Black people, that the Black people that came to the North America, or wherever they were colonized, wherever Black people were colonized, I know that this mentality of fighting each other was something that was taught to them by the slave master. Because if you remember back in slavery, when the slave master used to let the slaves, report, would have one slave there that would report and tell him what is happening. You could call that slave a traitor. So they have the field slave and they have the house slave. A lot of slaves, when they were in the field and they wanted to be house slaves, because it was little better to be house slave than field slave. So they would carry news about other slaves to their slave master to get promoted to house slaves, and so forth. So I don't know if it's because, of that. I don't know if it is because of that type of mentality, that type of behavior that take place back in slavery, that is embedded in our genes today as Black people, while we fight against each other and tear each other down. We don't like to see other Black people prosper. We don't like to see other Black people prosper and doing well. They will go to any means of tearing down each other. But when you look in the other races, even though, as I said, each race has their own animosity going on with them in their own race, but when they come together, they unite. They will help each other. They will try to build each other up. When you look, but we Black people, it is just me, myself, and I. I must be at the top, and everybody, and look up at me. I don't want to see anybody reach the level that I reach, so that I can get all the praises, that I can get all the, all the honor and all the glory. And with that type of mentality, when you see others trying to reach the top, even, for example, in a work situation, working in an office, and you'd work hard to reach at the top of the scale, and you'd have people try to carry news to backbite you, to tell the boss things upon to you for them to fire you. Or they would try to, they try to do everything to tear you down so that you cannot get promoted. And some of these persons are, for example, you are in a high position, and they're moving up the ladder, and if they see a little worker subordinate trying to do well to get promotion, that supervisor, sometimes the managers will fight them down. Other co-workers will fight them down. If you live in a community and you're trying to, educate yourself, going back to school so you get a better job. And so as soon as you educate yourself, you get a better job, and you start, living good, and you might decide that you're gonna buy a car, or you're gonna buy a house, there comes, you're not doing better than some of those persons that did not try to educate themselves. They don't want to go back to school. They don't want to do nothing in the community to improve themselves. And when they see a little man or a little woman trying to progress in life, to see somebody trying to better themselves, finding a job, educating themselves, trying to come out of the poverty level, they will envy that person, shot that person, rob that person, or kill that person. Or some of them use all kind of things that we know called witchcraft to hold on another person. And as I said, I don't know if it is because of slavery mentality, or it is because it is embedded in the African culture, and we are from Africa origin, where people use wizardry, witchcraft to hold on other persons, or kill them, poison them, so that they don't prosper. I don't see. If it do happen in other races, it is not as prevalent as it is in the Black race. And I'm here to say that if any, as Black people, we as Black people, We know that some of us are going through it in our homes. We are going through it with our families. We are going through it at our workplace. We are going through it at our school. We are going through it in our communities. We have people trying to fight us when we try. Enough of us, enough of you that will come across this video can say that surely you can attest to this, that you are going through the same problem. Families would fight you down. So-called friends would fight you down. Your enemies would fight you down. Your neighbors, your landlord, your landlady, your workers will fight you down. Some of them don't have the effort. They don't want to try. They don't want you to try. And some of them are at the top and they don't want others to come up at the top. This is something I see in the community. They would prefer to see you down and begging than give you a helping hand. And that is why us as Black people, as a Black race of people, because some of us have this type of mentality, or we give the other nations, something to talk about us. That when we have this character, that is why they can say these bad things about us. Because we fight against our own. We fight against our own. We don't want to see our own prosper. We don't want to see our own succeed. When you look, for example, when you look at other nations, the Chinese people help each other. They build up business, and give others. They start out with a little business, then they get some money, they open another business. If they see their fellow Chinese persons are, sitting begging on the road, they will take them up, give them a home, provide work for them. You will never see a Chinese beggar on the road. Maybe there are one or few, but you will never see them scrambling on the road begging. You will see the white people try to help up each other. Indians, they try to help each other up. They don't fight against their own race as much. As I said, they will be fighting in there, but it's not as prevalent as it is in the Black community. Bad mind, envy, and jealousy is causing us as Black people not to be a better race of people, because we fight among each other. We fight among ourselves. We are stopping others from growing. So if you think that because you might say, I am prospering, I'm doing good. Look at the 100%. Maybe it's 25% out of 100% is progressing as Black people, for example. And if you look at for the Chinese culture, you could say that if 75% of them are progressing or prospering, or maybe it's just 25% of them on the low side, that is progression. Progression of a race is when majority of them are prospering. It is not progression when you say that, I alone, I must at the top and so forth. I don't care if others are at the bottom. It look bad on the whole race when it's only 25 progressing and 75 not progressing. It gives a bad impression of the race of people, and that is why other races of people have so much things to say. Some of them have so much negative things to say about Black people, and that is why they will stigmatize us, and that is why they are racist. Some of them, I'm not saying all of them, are racist because of what they've heard, what what their grandparents and parents have told them about black people. Some of these things are and when they move, when they look at the black culture and they see it, they can say the killing each other, stealing, fighting each other. Selling out each other. They can say it is true. So this video is here. This video tonight. I know there are a lot of black people here that are going through this situation. They are facing the situation. They are trying to progress in life and their own race. It could be their own family. It could be their friends. It could be their neighbors. It could be their co-workers. It could be somebody in the neighborhood trying to stop them. At all means, so that they cannot come up to where they are, or they cannot go above them. This is what is happening in the black community, with the black race of people. Wherever you see black people, this is something is portrayed. And it's time for us to put away that slavery mentality and unite, as Marcus Garvey say, up your mighty race. When we as black people come together and unite, we are a force to reckon to. We are a great people back then, but because of separation and slavery, and each one is fighting to come out of the poverty. Out of poverty, it becomes so selfish that we don't care about others. So this is a video that, I was just doing some self-examination and looking within my race of people, my culture of people, and I see that, and I said, it is so bad. It is so bad. Emancipate, Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. Mental slavery. Let us free ourselves from that and have an open mind. Be happy to see others prosper. Have a good heart. Good night. So guys, I just started a poll and I wanted you guys to come in, and the question is, do you think we as Africans slash black people tear each other down? I want you to share the comment whether yes or no. Based off of the comments, we will know, I will know if it's only me or we have other black people that believe the same thing, are going through the same thing. So guys, let us have a good heart. It's only when we have a good heart towards each other, then we can grow. Because when we have a bad heart, when we have a bad heart against others, it stops our own growth. We may climb the ladder. We may climb the ladder of life. But if we are putting our foot, or we are standing, or being a stumbling block in the way of others from prosper, we will climb that ladder. But we will surely find ourselves coming back down, because karma is a hell of a thing. It is good to have a clean heart and clean hands, good mind towards others. And when you have that good heart toward others and wish others well, you will prosper. So this is the message out there. Have a good night.